Amrita Lahiri, and she's joining us from Management Information Systems and Entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. So nice to see many familiar faces. This is final season, and how many of us are feeling a bit tired of reading AI-generated student content right now? So something that I have been trying really hard to do in my class is how do I flip the script a bit with the students? Because instead of seeing AI as just sort of a shortcut for doing work and sort of trying to speed things up all the time, if there's a way that I could position AI more as a tool to help them explore, reflect, and then iterate, really, some of the things that we've been hearing in this set of presentations. So that's really what I've been trying hard to do, and I'll share an example from what I've tried in my class in entrepreneurial management. The real goal, which I'm trying to achieve here with using ChatGPT, is to help students sort of see and understand and mirror as what if AI can serve as a mirror for their ideas and then sort of help them to reflect and improvise on them. I think that is sort of the objective. So I will share this example based on an activity in my class. So the goal of this exercise is based on this concept, a psychological theory called regulatory focus. So the concept of regulatory focus is straightforward. It really is a powerful theory to help to show how the way you communicate matters for how people perceive you and has implications for outcomes. And so in this case, there are two types, of regulatory focus. There's promotion focus and prevention focus. And the basic idea is promotion focus is when you use words which are growth-oriented, about positive things, very opportunity-driven. And prevention focus is more about risk mitigation, being more conservative, more responsible. Both are important, clearly. It's all about balance. However, people have shown through research that the more promotion focus you use, people tend to perceive you as more ambitious, more positive, more growth oriented, and there is both in the entrepreneurship context, people have seen this with investors, as well as with in the employment context, people have seen this, that employers tend to prefer candidates who are more promotion focused and prevention focused. So this is something, the goal of this exercise is to help students really understand this, but also assimilate and know how to apply this. And the trick really is that when you get a promotion focused question, so for example, tell me something about yourself, or tell me what is the growth potential of this market, right? These automatically generate promotion-focused responses. But when you get a more prevention-focused question, like what is your churn rate? So how many potential customers are you losing, or customers are you losing? Or when you get like how do you avoid mistakes in your work? So when you get a question like that, it automatically generates a prevention-focused response, right? So I think the trick and the challenge is, if you get a prevention-focused question, which everybody gets, how do you still try to respond in a promotion-focused way? So that is really get students to understand this, and then and know how to apply this in not just in concept but also in practice. So the way I do this, and I've done this once. So the way I've done this in my class, which I think worked well, was first, you explain the idea, you give them some examples, but then I basically had them use ChatGPT to experiment with framings. And so I gave them some example questions, but then I told them you can try other questions. You've been in internship interviews and job interviews. Think of questions you've been asked, and then see how you can generate different responses, and then see how those responses make you feel? Like when you read the responses, what is your perception of the response? Really, the goal is for them to not just think about this is a response, I take it and I use it for my own purpose, but really to be able to critique that response and be able to say, what part of this is making me feel this way, right? What is it that is about the response that I am drawn to, or I feel this is perhaps not the best framing? So I have them, I've done this using text, but you could potentially, depending on how you design the assignment, I bet you could use voice. But I have not used voice. I think I've used text-based ChatGPT framings. And then I basically, after I have them try this out and sort of basically hopefully get some buy-in for this idea, I have them apply it using a peer, right? So I have them pick interview questions, and really the challenge is your peer will ask you a prevention-focused question. You have to answer that in a promotion-focused way. Really, that's sort of the challenge which I frame for them, and then in the end, I have them write a short note to reflect on what they learned. So that's really what they do. But this is something I wanted to show you as an example. So if the prompt is, so for example, how do you avoid mistakes in your work, right? So ChatGPT will tell you that a prevention-focused response is focused on, I mean, it all sounds very good. I mean, it's about minimizing errors in my work. So you have a structured process that is about attention to detail. But the promotion-focused response is all about opportunity and leveraging these to get more skills, to develop more, I guess, it's a lot about being more ambitious and growth oriented, which I think comes across pretty powerfully. So again, this is another example. How do you handle working on a project where you have little experience? So you have two different responses, which again, generate different reactions, which the students can then see. What is also cool with ChatGPT is that at the end, it sort of generates this synthesis, at least my version does, and I think that's probably true for most, which I think is really cool, because I think that, a lot of times when you just have students just look at things on their own, they sometimes do very surface level work. But I think with something like this, and if you draw attention to it, it helps them perhaps go deeper than they would if they are just left to their own devices. So it perhaps helps surface tensions and differences, which I think is helpful to go deeper into the concept. So that, and then again, this is just for my assignment. I had them work with a fellow classmate to really bring home the idea and actually to help them apply it, which was my goal, is that they should internalize the idea and then reflect on it. So that is basically the assignment that I had. I think that this kind of thing can be used in many other domains. And I think it worked well for this context. And yeah, looking forward to learning more on how to flip the script. That's it.
Great, thank you.